What it is, Vader Games. What it is, Vader Games in the building. Every time StreamYard's got to do a little madness, but we're back. We're back with another episode. New to the channel, don't know the name. I'm Vader Games. The channel is VatorgamesTV. The show is Why Always Me, and we've got episode 31. Episode 31. So, first things first, my peoples come first. My peoples, Manchester City fans, rival fans, all my peoples, football fans. Hit that follow button, subscribe, like, and share. About to kick off another episode. There's a lot to talk about. You see all the topics right there on the screen. You see what we're going to be running through. If you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, thanks for being part of the channel. I don't even know where to start. I'm so excited with everything that's kind of gone down, all the rumors, all the confirmations. There's a lot to cover. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Like I said, so much to cover. I shouldn't even waste any time. I should just get right into the talks right now. But I'm gonna make sure I do a little bit of housekeeping, a little bit of promoting. It is the off season, as we all know. It's transfer season right now. A lot to go down, and a lot just to share from my point of view. If you've been missing, you're in for a lot of news. If you've been up to date, let's have the conversation. Erling Haaland. Announcement confirmed. It went down yesterday. And City fan, obviously you're excited. Rival fan, you're curious. Maybe you're irked. Maybe you're mad. Regardless, you're interested. Erling Haaland coming to the EPL, more importantly, coming to Manchester City, is big news. It's tremendous news. And the way it played out, if you're not following, if you're not in the mix, obviously Manchester City fans, be a part of it. Make sure you're following the Manchester City Twitter account. Great posts. That's where a lot of things drop. That's where I get a lot of the content. I'm not jumping from apps, Instagram, and Twitter, but amazing announcement and just the way it played out. 22 years to the date. 22 years to the date. His father, Alfie Haaland, became a Manchester City player. And like father, like son, the young man is following into his father's footsteps. It's amazing. It's amazing when you think about it, right? Because Manchester City fans get crushed, get talked about, get hit with that same stick about no history. But it's history coming full circle. It's history of a player, father, grooming his child, and his child following his footsteps in terms of being a professional football player and actually playing at a club that his father played at. You can't plan that. You can't predict that. It just plays out. And it's playing out amazingly for not only old school, quote unquote, dinosaur Manchester City fans, but current fans, new fans, right? You're seeing the old, you're seeing the new, you're seeing how everything ties together. You're revisiting, or maybe you're being introduced for the first time based off of that history. But it's history. It can't be ignored. It is history. Maybe it's not the stupendous, glorified trophy after trophy type history that some clubs are able to talk about. And yes, there are gaps within the Manchester history with regards to wins and consistent winning and remaining at the top of the league or in the top leagues. But it's history nonetheless. And I was consuming as much as I could, staying connected with the fan base, staying connected with Manchester City fans, and obviously a few sprinkles of salt coming out from the rivals with throwing in their 2 cents on what Haaland's all about. And I'm going to get into talking about what it potentially may mean for Erling Haaland at Manchester City, and what it may mean in terms of our style of play. I'll get into that. And there's going to be a lot to talk about when it comes to that because we're so early in the transfer window. There's still more players to come to the team. There's unfortunately the realistic possibility of players going out. So it's how we adjust to that. But Erling Haaland, a player sought after from all of the top clubs around the world, And the young man picked Manchester City for the project. He picked Manchester City because of his ties. He picked Manchester City because he's been a lifelong Manchester City fan. And how do you turn that down? I'm doing this show during the day, doing my best to make it more of a routine to be able to interact with those in the chat, because normally I'm doing it my time, which is late. It's 10 o'clock p.m. Toronto time, which is mad late for all you people over in the UK, but happy for the interaction. Edison in the building. What it do, my guy? Thanks for tuning in. Hope all is well with you. I had to do a show talk about Erling Haaland. I had to, but I'm also going to talk about the other announcements as well. And I'm doing my best. I want to bring on a panel to discuss more worldwide football. Obviously, I have my ties to the EPL, but I want to bring in more of the mix. And I want to definitely talk about your club, AC Milan, my guy. So, not only did the announcement involve a recreation of Haaland when he was a young boy, obviously in his house, wearing a Manchester City jersey, shirt, whatever you call it, and he's chilling in his shorts on the couch, foot on a bucket. I actually thought it was a foot. He had his foot on a vacuum, but it turns out he had his foot on a bucket, and he's just chilling, just awkwardly kid pose, right? And they recreated it now, him as a young man wearing this year's jersey. Similar pose, similar background. Amazing to see. It just connected perfectly with Manchester City fans. It connected perfectly with Manchester City fans, tying in the old and the new, the history and the modern age. And I got to talk about the father-son connection. So I can't hate. No one can actually hate on how Manchester City do their media, their branding. Okay, this announcement, just the release plan, quality, absolute quality. And they tied it in with actually some great video content, behind the scenes video content of Haaland going for his medical over in Barcelona, coming to Manchester City, seeing the facility, talking to some of the players, meeting up with Diaz, talking with Fernandinho, meeting Fernandinho's son, and obviously some of the staff, some of the culinary staff and physio staff, everything. But it's great, behind the scenes stuff. There's also a moment where he's on the couch, obviously in the facility. He's sitting there with his dad. There's a screen showing some of the news clips with regards to Haaland being announced to the world. And he hands a jersey, and funny enough, a picture is on the screen of Haaland, a very young boy wearing his dad's jersey, says dad on the back. And there's a picture of that on the screen, and in that moment he actually takes modern day Manchester City jersey with the name son on the back and hands it to his dad. and it is an amazing moment. It is a amazing moment to be able to have that connection and to have the results of a lot of hard work and a very memorable moment to actually connect with your dad. It actually hit me. It was really nice in terms of a father being proud, a son being proud, and having a moment. And I love that they were able to do that. And the announcement was the video wasn't too long. I think it was maybe close to 8 minutes in length, but it had some very good content. And whether you're a City fan or a rival, I don't think there's any avoiding this guy. There's no avoiding Haaland, man. It's a big signing. It's huge for the league, and it's a player that decided on his destination. No different than all of the hype that was surrounding Mbappe. When he made the decision to remain at PSG, it's that level of news and interest. Let me share this real quick with you on viewing on YouTube. But Edison goes, Haaland family might be good, but doesn't compare to Maldini legacy. 3 generations. Yeah. Edison, how did I know that you would make sure to tie that in? I should have guessed it before you actually put that quote up. But no, you're right. Absolutely amazing legacy. Absolutely amazing. And that's what you love to see. You love to see different generations, right? You love to see players that have continued to go, and not every offspring, not every kid's going to make it. But when they do, you love to see it because you obviously have so fantastic memories of the players before them, the fathers that played before them. Let's see here. Now, I'm gonna try to keep this concise because I know I can have the tendency to get a little too in depth at times. And FYI, for all of you that have tuned in and continue to support the channel, there are other shows that will be in the mix. We're in the off season, working behind the scenes to continue to have home and away with special guest, home based representative for Manchester City on my home and away show. Obviously, I'm the away fan, so we have that amazing dynamic. We're looking to reintroduce that, and then to include a larger panel. There's obviously the Why Always Me panel show that we discuss all things, and I want to get a few of those old friends on the panel to discuss the transfer season right now. I want to get their take on what's got them stressed, what's got them nice and chill and confident. And I want to go through that because it's going to be a crazy season and everybody's posturing to kind of figure out where they're going to net out, right? There's obviously the expectation to having a really good season and being able to compete, but then there's the early predictions to figure out, am I confident to say that I'm going to be top 4? Am I confident to say that I have a chance to compete for a cup? Things of that nature. So I want to get that panel back together, and I'm working on another show. That is all about addressing banter talk. It is about addressing all of the banter talk that is out there. Because there's a point where you just reach your limits, right? You just get to the point where enough is enough. I'm tired of the same old running off the same old comments, the same old criticism. It gets old, it gets immature, and there's a point where you just need to address it. You address it real quick and then it's done. FIFA, what it do? Thanks for tuning in. Another fan channel. And I'm going to be talking about obviously the signings. I'm going to be talking about the signings, not only with Russ and Manchester City, but I'm going to be talking about Liverpool. I'm going to be talking about Tottenham Spurs right now, and I'm going to address the other teams as we get into later in the year, later in the summer. But I'm talking about Haaland right now, and it's huge, absolutely huge, because of not only the business that Manchester City did to be able to get him here. Not the crazy ridiculous numbers that were being thrown out last season or even the season before, right? And also, in hindsight, if you want to look back, previous summers there was the potential of Messi coming here, right? Messi ended up remaining at Barca, then he ended up at PSG. There was the rumors about Harry Kane coming to Manchester City and all of that, and what it would take for him to get here, and the talks about 150 million to just pry him from Levy's hands to get him over here. And then there was Cristiano Ronaldo and how his agent made moves and played to get the cash up, get the money up to get him to Manchester United. Great chess moves. And when it's all said and done, when it all comes around, now official announcements, we see the man holding up the jersey. Erling Haaland is in the mix. Erling Haaland is in the mix, holding up the jersey, and it is absolutely fantastic. There's more to come. There's more players to be announced. Trust me on this one. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it official. We're gonna make sure the official announcement. I have no problem dealing with the rumors. I'm gonna talk about the rumors as it comes to as it comes to the rivals, because it's only Perisic is confirmed with Tottenham. It's close. I think it's a medical. They're at the medical phase when it comes to Darwin Nunez. And Bissouma is, I think Bissouma's at the medical. No, so Perisic is signed. That's confirmed. Bissouma, medical. Nunez, I believe, is medical as well. All really close. But Erling Haaland to the mix, 22 years to the date, him being signed at Manchester City. The tying in of the history is absolutely phenomenal. It's amazing. It's amazing thinking. And it just shows how everything's planned. Nothing's by accident. There's a vision. And as a fan, it's great to kind of sit back and enjoy that and see what's happening. All right, let's go into I think we got to talk about I think we have to actually we got to talk about this. Guys, and I'm going to put this on screen for you. I don't know if you know this or not, but 51 million is what it cost Manchester City to get Erling Haaland. 51. Okay? And I got a question for you viewers. Does the price tag of a player, does it set the expectation for what the player should deliver year one that they're there, or their career at a club? I'm posing this question, and I plan on posting this on Twitter as well. But I want to have the conversation. If it's a record setting, if it's the most ever spent by a club with regards to a player, does that then set the expectation of what the team should expect from that player and the fans should expect from that player? I'm going to ask you that question. FIFA says yes. Says yes, it should. Yes. Should it though? No. You know what? So I guess you're confused a little bit as am I. Well, not so much confused, but I have a different perspective. And the perspective is the team, Manchester City, is going to get the player because that player fits within the system, and the value that they set to want that player in the system is how much they want it. Right? It's how much they want it. You, for example, we're both going, because I do the shoe game at the end of the show. You and I may go to, let's say, a flea market. Some limiteds are actually being sold there. You and I actually want the same pair of shoes. You happen to have 2, 3 similar pairs. I don't have this pair of shoes at all. I'm willing to pay more for it because I want it, not necessarily because it is of greater value, but because I want it. I need it within my collection. You already have two similar like it. You're not stressed about it. So the fact that I want it so bad, does that then set the expectation for how good of a quality it needs to be, or how much it may be used, right? That's where it comes with regards to some of these players, and also the reputation that some of these clubs have, or the knowledge that rivals or opposing clubs happen to know is of value to that club, or the resources that that club has. Manchester City obviously has strong resources, so sometimes the pricing gets increased based off of that. But that in turn should not then determine the player to have a greater output. If you understand what I'm saying. And the reason why I say that is because, in all fairness, with regards to the agendas that kind of get set with these rival fans, you see the price point for a Haaland, and then I'm gonna get into it, but the 85, I believe it's 85 euros or 85 pounds, I'm not sure, but you see the 85 million tag with regards to Darwin Nunez, obviously from a price tag a lot higher than Haaland. Is the expectation now for Nunez to have to significantly deliver at a higher level than Haaland? Does that also then compound with regards to the expectation from the team standpoint? Looking at the quality of that player, the price of that player, should we all now look at Liverpool and be like, they've strengthened a lot greater than Manchester City because of the price tags associated to each player? I don't think that's the case. So I'm really letting you rivals know, slow down with some of this most expensive squad or most expensive player or transfer record or acquisitions, because doesn't logically make sense. Is it a fact that you're shouting out? 100%. But does it make sense? Does it correlate? Edison he says, price tags are a promotion to make the player valued. 100% price tags do set what the level is, what the value is by player, said club. There's also the calculation with regards to what can this player then in turn make for the club, jersey sales, obviously some player fan interactions, and obviously fans turning out just to want to get to that player. 100%. I want to talk about Darwin Nunez and the announcement. Not official. When it is official, we'll go into greater depth about it. And, I forgot to do this, so let me make sure I do this. Darwin Nunez announcement. Forever, he will be compared to Erling Haaland. Forever. The fact that he's coming to Liverpool same summer as Haaland, the fact that they were in pursuit of the quad last year, fell short, and obviously have unfinished business themselves. Manchester City had goals last season, was able to win the EPL, but fell short of the Champions League pursuit as well as the other cups this past season. Haaland, Manchester City, and the pursuit of those. Liverpool and Darwin Nunez and the pursuit, or the continued pursuit, of what wasn't accomplished last season. They're going to forever be tied together. So it's going to be an ongoing comparison. We'll have to see where things net out. You have Liverpool fans that are saying they got the player that's less risk, because they want to tout how Erling Haaland is injury prone. They want to talk about Erling Haaland, how he doesn't have the greatest first touch. Have they seen Darwin's first touch? Let's not talk about first touch. But then they also want to talk about clinical finishing, and I'm seeing a lot of I'm seeing a lot of stats where it's in favor of Darwin Nunez. Hey, cool. I want to lower as many. I want to lower the expectations on Haaland as much as I can, as best as I can. I want to do that because I think he's going to have a lot to do this year. And despite having the lower price tag compared to Nunez, we already know how the media is going to cover it. We already know. I'm already, and you know what? Let me not get into that just yet. But the Darwin Nunez announcement is huge. It's obviously Manchester City, Liverpool arming themselves for another battle this upcoming season, looking to get stronger. And I can't hate on it. I know rivals aren't the most excited about it, but I think Darwin Nunez is going to be a problem. Now, not only are Liverpool strengthening, and I talked about this on another show. Shout out to This Is Football. Don Hussan had me on the show just yesterday with the Erling Haaland announcement and some talks. Looking to reconnect when the transfer window is absolutely closed and we can not necessarily speculate, but we've got the hard evidence to talk about team expectations. But we talked about teams and we talked about where things may net out in terms of transfers. So talk about his team, talk about my team. One thing that I failed to bring up, and you know what? My days are mixing together. This is wild because even the day before that, shout out to True City Fan, shout out to Gundalorian. So Patrick, Carl, Pitch Points. We had Pitch Points had a great panel. Forgive me, I don't remember everyone's name, but tune into Pitch Points' last show. Amazing content. Had Chelsea fans on there, and I was kind of throwing out a little bad news because I actually think the biggest threat to third and kind of like mucking things up for Manchester City and Liverpool is going to be Tottenham Spurs. I think Conte, the quality that he is as a manager, is going to be problematic. It's going to be a problem. And the fact that he's getting backing this year, you know what I mean? First getting Perisic, and now strong confirmations that it's been agreed to for Bissouma to be there. Spurs are going to be a problem. Spurs are going to be a real problem. Conte being backed is going to be a problem. And I think that's obviously not good for us because I think they're challenging for 1 and 2. And I think as it stands right now, 1 and 2, City and Liverpool. But you got Spurs coming through, and that does not bode well for Arsenal. Does not bode well for Chelsea, but we'll see how Chelsea bounce back this season. But Bissouma is I think it's just with regards to the medical, and obviously things are looming. And it's not my position to really talk about it, but things are looming within his life outside of football. But I think all that goes through this player's going to make a difference. This player's going to make a difference. And the fact that the Spurs already have this man, Perisic, damn, with Conte coming over from Inter, I'm so happy that Manchester City are getting the players that they need, right? And again, when it's all set and done, when everything's settled, and the squad is what the squad is, we know who's here, we know who's left. I'm going to confidently be able to talk about my expectations. I'm going to confidently being able to do that because I will not only be reviewing Manchester City, but I'll be looking at the rest of the teams that City will be competing against. My bad. Let me check out these comments real quick. Thank you, viewers. Thanks for the support and tuning in. If you are new and if you are old, and when I say old, I mean you've been on the channel before. Again, every little bit helps. Like, and please share it amongst your friends. If you got like-minded City fans or neutrals, rivals, share the channel. I look forward to the conversation. I'm always looking to adjust the content as well and how I interact. So, the more people that know, the more this format can actually change. So let me get to these comments real quick. Um, Edison, I got to talk about Alvarez, but the reason why I'm not talking about Alvarez just yet is because he hasn't been on the grounds. He hasn't held up that jersey yet. He hasn't held it up yet. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm excited for him to come to the team, and that's also another reason why I don't know how to talk about who's leaving. Because with Alvarez and Haaland coming in, what does that mean for Amares? What does that mean for Sterling? What does that mean for Gabriel Jesus? So many rumors out there. Got to see where it nets out. Let's see. Comment-wise, Edison goes, I don't even know if Nunez has Haas for headers. I've seen him connect on a couple of headers. I don't know how dominant he is in the air, how commanding he is in the air, but he's going to be a threat. And again, it's funny because a lot of things happen in patterns, right? I remember years ago, Cristiano Ronaldo actually had a great showing against Manchester United, right? He had a great showing, and based off of that, players within United actually said, "We need this player to come over here. We need to get him." Right? And then we got Nunez, who playing against Liverpool last year in Champions League and putting on such a strong showing against Liverpool's back line, their team, the quality of their team, some similar would have happened. Klopp would have obviously seen the skill set and seen his abilities. The players on Liverpool would have assessed him, played against him, and know what he's all about. And again, idea is let's get this player over here so we don't have to deal with him. Very smart, very smart. I think he's going to be good in their system. And I love the rivalry that's being played up right now. It's not something that needs to change. No one's going to change philosophies on how they attack opposing teams. But the fact that it's going to be a Nunez, Haaland, whereas it used to be a Mbappe, Haaland, and we're seeing that there's going to be comparisons with all of the top strikers within the EPL, Lukaku, Harry Kane, Cristiano Ronaldo. That those talks would have happened with regards to this season with Haaland coming in. So it's gonna be a good dynamic. We got Daniel in the building. Thank you, my friend Daniel. Thanks for bigging up the channel. Thanks for supporting it. And again, like, subscribe, and share. It's huge. It's hugely important. Conte is showing Spurs that talent are everywhere and not just in big clubs. 100%. If your scouting is on point, Edison, you're exactly right. If your scouting is on point, you can get players not necessarily from the big clubs. You can actually get players that are kind of like on the twilight of their career, but that they can put in a good 1 or 2 years at your club, right? And actually have allow you to make a good push for success. So that's I agree with you 100%. 100%. The team expectations here, and I don't understand why it's happening so early. I think a lot of these sports shows and channels and in these sport talk shows, I think they burn out. Like, they go through topics way too quickly. They're already talking about the odds for Champions League for the upcoming season. They're labeling Manchester City as the odds-on favorite. Liverpool second. I got to look back and see who's third. But I'm like, that is wild before the teams are even set. And I'm not a gambler, so I don't quite know how it works out. But I'm wondering to myself, should I actually don't want the odds to be so low, right? I don't want Manchester City to be the favorites because you don't get as much. If I understand it, you don't get as much as a payout. So I'm excited for actually some of this news to maybe show another team to be better strengthened and have a better squad to maybe have the odds change. And then again, I'm not a gambler, but if the odds are better in terms of a payout for Manchester City winning, I'll be all for it, right? But I hate it. I hate it how they're already touting Manchester City as the favorites. And I've said this before. I said it in a tweet. I was like, everyone loves rooting for the underdog. So season after season, and I think ever since Pep has come to Manchester City, they've touted Manchester City as the favorites to win the EPL as well as the favorites to win the Champions League. Club's never done it before, but again, they're going to make us favorites. And the fact that they do that, I hate it because everyone, by nature, human psychology, roots for the underdog. Everyone roots for the underdog. So you're making Manchester City the favorite year after year. They should not be. McLovin, what it do? Thanks for tuning in, my guy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support on the channel. I'm loving it. I know Manchester City fans are wilding out these last few days. Everything's been great. Everything has been great. I was on the Don Hussein channel just the other day. I was telling him the birds, after this Haaland announcement, the birds are just, their singing is just so much more pleasant. The water I'm drinking just tastes so much fresher, cleaner. The flowers seem to smell so much better. Life just seems to be at another level. The enjoyment is just amazing. I hope you're experiencing the same thing. I hope food is tasting better to you. I hope the company that you keep, you're getting better hugs and affection. I hope all that is blessing your life. I hope all of that is blessing your life. It is for me. It is for me. This is amazing news, and it's going to continue throughout the season. But I was talking about some of these expectations and how Manchester City's label is the favorites and things of that nature. I think it's crazy. I think it's wild. I'm going to wait until some of these final announcements go down. But I also want to say, how is it that Real Madrid, winners, quote unquote, a down year, strengthening players that they have are a year better in terms of the younger players, more experience, how are they not the favorites to repeat? How is a team like Liverpool pursuing all competitions, battling on all fronts, having 6 of the 11 players being labeled Team of the Year players, having the Player of the Year in Salah, having the Golden Boot player in Salah. I think, clean sheet, Golden Gloves keeper in Alisson. How is Liverpool not the favorites for the Champions League? Also because of, again, the heritage, Champions League heritage. How is that not a factor in them being the favorites? Let Manchester City be the underdogs. Come on. Why? Why is it always labeling a club that hasn't gotten there and that's shown that they're not at the levels to win it yet, labeled as the favorites every time? It's wild. It's wild to me. Edison goes, Liverpool is being favorable too. Yes, they are favored, but they weren't the top. They weren't top, but they should be. They were competing on a quad. They went on that. They went as far as they could, the furthest any club's ever gone. They're coming back. Revenge on the mind. Best manager. They should be labeled the favorites, right? Well, that's how I see it. They should be the favorites. But I talked about team expectation, and I'm going to go into that in greater depth, and I want to include some panel members to include many teams, and we just talk about transfer window close or close to it, expectations, and what that's all going to mean. I think we need to talk about this. We're going to have to talk about this. Again, it's early. But fans, we all know, fans are growing with every day more and more and more impatient. Every fan base expects their club to be challenging for the title. They don't win one of the big trophies, it's a failure of a season. Every fan base, top 6, top 7, top 8, have this mentality. There's only one trophy, guys. But everyone expects to win it, right? I'm curious about the pressure that's going to be applied to these managers. And I know I'm in the minority here with this type of thinking, but I think if you've won a cup, and obviously the competition that you have to play for said cup can't be looked at as a extreme pressure moment. I know I'm wrong. Not wrong. I know I think of that very differently to some other fans. And fans, when I say fans, I mean Manchester City fans as well as other clubs. I'm just going to throw this out there. Could Liverpool win the same 2 trophies next season and not raise questions or have pressure on their manager? I don't know. I'm asking. Is there a expectation for the Spurs with Conte to have to win a trophy? And does it have to be the trophies that a club like Liverpool dismiss, right? Carabao Cup, FA Cup. If the Spurs win that, I know Liverpool tend to poo-poo on those cups, but if that's won by Spurs, is that okay? Does that kind of squash some of the pressure put on Conte? If Liverpool win those same cups that they poo-poo on, is there pressure now on Klopp? Can Pep pursue and go after another EPL? And if he only wins the EPL, is there pressure on Pep? A lot needs to be talked about with regards to the pressure on managers, right? Is there pressure? Should there even be pressure on a Ten Hag coming to Manchester United year 1? Is there pressure on Tuchel? Right? Technically, year 2, starting year 2, because he came in midway. But is there pressure on him? I want to answer these questions. I want to answer these questions with you in the chat. I want to answer these questions with some of the members that have been on the channel before. Oh, where did I miss that? Hold on. Oh, okay. Let me put this, and sorry, in the chat they ask, do I have a comment on the Glenn Rice 150 million price tag? I think I do have a comment. I think for the quality of player and what he means to that club, he deserves a high price tag, right? Because again, that club's going to be weakened by the departure of said talent. And I know you put Glenn Rice, but it's Declan. I think it's Declan Rice. Actually, Glenn Rice was he's an NBA player, if I remember correctly. But Rice, he's a player that I would kind of categorize very similar to a Jack Grealish. High quality, key to the club, deserving of a high price tag if he is going to depart. There's rumors that I think Chelsea's looking at him. Don't know how serious Manchester United's looking at him because they're all obviously looking at De Jong as well. 150 is way too much. It's way too much. It's a crazy price tag like Levy and Harry Kane. 150. Like, come on. He's good though. He's good. Where he goes, and if he's serious about looking to definitely compete for trophies, like if that's the ambition, because he obviously gets called up for international duty, but if he's looking to add trophies to the cabinet, I think it's a short list of teams in the EPL if that's where he's looking to remain. But at 150s, I think that's an impossible price tag, in my opinion. Now, the manager, going back to the manager pressure that I was talking about, everyone's going to be under pressure in a different way. And I'm gonna pose a question differently maybe on the next show. Could a manager go trophyless next season? Or which manager, let me ask this, and hit me up in the comments. Maybe I'll look to post this on Twitter. We can have the conversation as well, and I'll go into more depth on the next show. But which manager could go trophyless next season and not stress about being released from their club? Which manager in the EPL could go trophyless next season and not worry about being released by their club? I think we should have that conversation. Edison quickly answers and he goes, Arsenal. Arsenal could go trophyless. Now, if they can go trophyless, where would they need to finish? Is then the compound question, right? So yeah, okay, they go trophyless, but does that mean that they have to finish top 4 or better, right? Because they finished 5th last season. There's a lot to get into, and again, I think it's a good start with regards to combo. Yeah, I think it's a really good start with regards to combo and talking about some of the expectations. And not only do we then have we have player expectations based off of price tag coming to the club reputation. We've got team expectations now that they've strengthened. They've improved on some of their weaknesses, and maybe some players have departed, so they've weakened themselves somewhat. What's the expectation from that standpoint? But where I'm getting at now with regards to rival expectation, and it's the last topic of the show, some of these rival expectations need to be consistent. You have rivals talking about another club with a level of scrutiny, a level of judgment, expectations that far exceed what they have of their own club. And I get it. They're not going to have the same perspective as the fan of that club because they know the ins and outs, they know the challenge. But I'm hearing right now, and again, I'm a Manchester City fan. I don't hide it. I got to talk about it. And this is where I vent. This is healing for me. This is therapeutic, right? This is so everything doesn't just bottle up inside and result to ulcers or stresses. Rival fans, similar to what I talked about with regards to Champions League and Manchester City already being labeled as Champions League favorites to win it all. I've already got rival fans saying that now that we've acquired Haaland, obviously Alvarez, not even taking account who may be leaving, right? What may be going out the door. But they're already quick to say, if Manchester City this year don't win Champions League, then Pep is going to have to answer questions. The thinking by some of these fans is so elementary. It's so basic. It's boring. There's going to be a lot to have to play out. There's going to actually be an ongoing evaluation with regards to style of play and players trusted to play and how they perform. But I'll tell you right from the jump, and I know you guys aren't gonna like hearing it. You're gonna be like, "Oh, this City fan, just like all the other City fans, puts no value on the Champions League, and that's why they don't win the Champions League." No, I value the Champions League. I want to win it. It's not do or die though. It's not if it's not won this year that it's crap and reset and get a new manager and start over again. No, it's not that type of thinking, right? The crash and burn and rebuild. That's not how Manchester City does it. It's been successful for Chelsea. Whether they continue doing that, that's another question. But no, that's not how we move. I want Manchester City to compete well. I want City to do very well in the competition. But I also know it's not an easy tournament to win. There's so much damn luck involved. Where you are in the draw, where you are in your group, where the matches fall and who you face in your own domestic league, there's all of that. I'm never, and I know I said this. Hit me with a like. Hit a like if you already know what I'm about to say. But I'm not going to sacrifice the Champions League for the EPL. I'm not. I want both. Selfishly, I'm greedy. I want both. And if I'm going to lose one, right? If I'm going to lose one, I'm going to lose it after winning the EPL. I know it's wild. And I'm working on the thinking. Trust me. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. I'm working on the thinking. But it's the way the season plays out. I hate that the season concludes and then it's Champions League. I hate that it's so close in how the season ends as well. Looking at La Liga, I believe Real Madrid had 2 weeks off. I think they had 2 weeks off before the Champions League, maybe 3. Got to go back, but it was significant versus the very next weekend out of the EPL, you go into the Champions League. That's so grueling. It's so challenging. It's difficult, and as well, EPL has no winter break. We love it as fans. We love it. We have football during the holidays, right? During that December holidays, we have football, but other leagues don't, and we know that compounds and affects players' durability, sustainability, the health of the players. It's a lot. But the rival expectations is already out of control. I'm ignoring it. I'm just sharing. Again, like I said, I just got to vent so it doesn't build up and cause problems inside. But the rivals are already with their agendas. They're already saying Manchester City, if they don't win it, Pep's got questions to answer. No, he does not. And it's not stack padding. It's not. There is no avoiding Manchester's history, the history of the EPL. There's no avoiding it. We've seen what the Reds, what the Rags, however you want to describe them, we've seen what that club across the street did for so many years, stacking EPLs, winning 2 Champions Leagues. I want the Champions League, don't get me wrong, but I want to stack these EPLs as well. I want that. I want the domestic dominance. Double D's. Domestic dominance. I want it. And let's build off of that and pursue that Champions League. I gotta stop ranting. I see Daniel in the building. Daniel goes, oh, did I miss? Sorry, I missed some comments. Edison goes top 4. I think he's referring to Arsenal. If Arsenal finishes top 4, no trophies, I think Arteta is safe. He's good to go. Yeah, I'm not even taking into account the World Cup. There's a lot to adjust to this year, and we'll on a future show we'll have to talk about that because what I understand, the domestic league is so concentrated in terms of matches. So from a fan standpoint, we're loving it. Maybe matches every 3-4 days, but it's crammed in there to account for that World Cup break that kind of falls on us. It will make the players unhappy and unpleasant. Yeah, World Cup will be difficult. I think it's going to cause a little bit of a hiccup, but it's the price to pay for having the World Cup that time of year. Got Daniel. Daniel's like, no. Daniel is no. I definitely want to win the EPL over the Prem because we have never won it. I hear that. But Daniel, I'm going to challenge you on this one. Type out the ideal way that you would want to lose the EPL in order to win the Champions League, because that's important. That's important because I'll challenge you on this one. If this past season played out the way it did, and we happen to lose the EPL on the last day to then win the Champions League, I bet you wouldn't be happy with it. I bet you. I would not be happy with it. I would not be happy with winning the Champions League this past season and losing the EPL on the last day. Would not. But let me know. Let me know in the comments, and viewers, those of you in the chat as well. Let me know. Let me know if you agree. Tell me the ideal way that you would want to lose the EPL to win the Champions League. Because I don't think there's just a blanketed, yeah, I'll lose the EPL if I'm winning the Champions League. It's got to play out a certain way. FA doesn't care, mate. No, I know. They don't care. But we gotta, yeah. There's nothing I can really say with that one. You feeling like a Juventus? No, man. I'm not feeling like a Juventus fan. What do you mean? I need a little more explanation on that one. Ali goes, hey, I'm on after a long time. How are you? I'm good. Things have been all right. I'm trying to work on increasing my ability to actually go live and have these combos and actually have the combos with more fans and not just Manchester City fans, like just fans in general. I love the conversation. Got to get these things off my chest. I have to. But thanks for tuning in, man, and thanks for the support. I say it always, and I truly mean it. You guys viewing the channel is huge for me. Humble goal. I'm trying to get to 100 subs, and then after 100 subs, just build off of that. But there's a huge in this whole YouTube world, and I know you know this as well. When you make your mark and you're trying to get to that milestone of 1,000 subscribers and building off of that, you just start running with it. But I'm doing it as pure as I can with regards to the content that I share, the timing that I'm able to do it, and like I said, I'm working on increasing the interval and how often I'm able to give that content. But I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I appreciate the likes. You're able to share this or even share clips. If I'm talking crazy, share the clip. If I'm talking and making sense, share a clip. But yeah, I'm just trying to do my part, and I appreciate every support. Win just a trophy each season. That is what I'm talking about. That if we think about winning a trophy every year, Pep's here, and we know that in terms of Pep and I say it all the time, the evil genius, the mad scientist, the perfectionist. We know that his pursuit of football glory, football mastery, it's going to result into trophies. It's going to result in success. And however he plays around with it, different combinations, wins, losses, I'm here for it. I'm here for it because I know he's trying to perfect it. He's trying to perfect football. He's trying to master it. Oh, okay. All right. So I sound like a Juventus fan just because I said I'm comfortable stacking EPL. Listen, stacking EPL titles is not easy. So when when rivals are trying to kill me for saying that I'm comfortable or I'd settle for it, winning an EPL title is not easy at all. It's not. And the battles amongst the clubs is just increasing. I said it early in the show. Not only Liverpool, but Conte, and that's going to be pressure in terms of like all of the opposing clubs not wanting Conte and the Spurs to actually win something, right? You got to think about that. That's going to be wild in itself. So I understand how difficult the EPL is. I understand how difficult it is, and again, I give respect. I know the UCL is tough to win. What side of the grouping are you going to be in? One of these matches is going to fall with regards to the EPL title. But I do challenge everyone in the chat. Maybe I'll look to pose this on Twitter, see what kind of response I get, or maybe if I'm speaking some of these Twitter spaces, I'm going to ask the question: what would be the acceptable way or most comfortable way to lose the domestic title while pursuing the win of the Champions League? Maybe we should go through that exercise. I think that exercise would actually be really good, so that maybe I can hear it from some fans and maybe come to peace with it. But right now, nothing. No, I can't imagine. I can't foresee anything that has me accepting the loss of the EPL while going for the Champions League. I know. I'm wired terribly like that. Now, I want to thank each and every one of you. Before I shut down the show, and I know it's not there. I know it's not there on the list. It normally is, but I had so many topics to go through. It's the shoe game. It's the shoe cam that I put on screen. I got to show you what I'm rocking, and I've been challenged, fan requested with regards to the shoe game. They've asked, Vader, I know you got some kicks. I know you got some style. I know you got some drip. Share it with the viewers, and that's what I'm doing. They're trying to catch me. The challenge is catch me in a repeat shoe. Episode 31, going strong right now. And again, like this channel, share the love. If I'm not, this is no joke. This is no lie. I get to that subscriber mark. I get to that hard to envision right now because humble channel trying to get to a century mark. I get to 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers based off of that milestone in itself. My shoe plug has said that I will be able to do a challenge contest on my channel to then reward those viewers that have been part of the channel. Does that mean via, I guess, channel members or subscribers? I'm not exactly sure, but I know when I reach that milestone of 1,000 subs, I'll be able to give back with regards to the footwear that I have. So let me actually show you what kicks I'm rocking right now. I'm based out here in Toronto. Weather is so nice. Shorts weather. All right. The Cavs are out. I'm enjoying the sun. Like I told you, this Erling Haaland news has resulted in just everything being so much nicer. The air is fresher. The sun's warmer. The birds, they're just singing beautiful songs, beautiful melodies. It's excellent. But let me show you the shoe cam. Make out which shoes these are. No hints this time. And then, yeah, I'm not going to give any hints this time. But let me know in the comments if you happen to know what shoes I'm rocking. Yeah, and we'll go from there. Okay. That's the front profile right there. Okay. I think I'm giving too much away. Let me give you a side profile. Side profile of the kicks. Okay. Let's show the other side. I think that lighting's good. Is it too bright? Let me know if that lighting's too bright, viewers. But that's what we're rocking right now. Nice little ankle socks. Enjoying that beautiful sun. When the weather's nice, no chance of rain, that's when you can bring these out. You know what I mean? Episode 31, Vader Games TV. Why always me? You saw the shoe game. Let me know. Let me know if you happen to know what those kicks are. And the challenge continues. Catch me in a duplicate pair. Were these duplicate? Got to go back and check. But love and first things first. My peoples come first. Do the thing. Like, sub, share. Appreciate the support of the channel. Tune in and support True City Fan, Gundalorian. Amazing, amazing guys. Pitch Points is the show that we jump on in terms of YouTube channel and True City Fan. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more that we're going to be discussing in the future. And I appreciate the love and the support. I'm Vader Games. I'm out. But again, tune in for the next show. I'm looking to get the panel out, and I'm working on a new show. I'm working on a new show that I'm sure you guys are going to love. But like always, try to do my thing. Thanks for the support. I'm out.